Warning! The following video will contain content that is not appropriate for children. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, everyone? Welcome back for another one of my Pokemon Battle Revolution rant battles. Fuck yeah! Alright, so getting this fucking party started. Apparently it's foggy as well, so that's interesting, I guess. Not sure what that entails exactly, but okay. It's kind of random. Alright, anyway. Shit, kind of lost my train of thought here. Shit. Yeah, okay, I remember what I was going to be talking about this time. So, this time I'm going to be talking again about my workplace, which I've been talking about quite a lot today. That's because most of the interesting shit that's happened in my life has happened at my workplace, because again, you know, whole quarantine thing. That being said, I don't really have much of a life anyway, so I mean, most of the shit that happens to me that's interesting usually happens at work anyway, so yeah, because again, I don't really have much of a social life. Basically, YouTubing is my social life in its own kind of way. I mean, it's not like an actual, like, in-person social life, but you know, this is what it is. So, again, I want to put things in perspective for you guys. So, I'm a host at a restaurant, right? And I've worked at the same place for about, 6 years now. So, last year, I was finally, for the first time ever, like in the entire time I've worked there, I finally got a raise. Yeah, it only took me like 5 years to get a fucking raise. Imagine that. So at the time, last year when I got my raise, the minimum wage at the time was $8.25. So I got a 75-cent raise. I know, for all my hard work, I get a 75-cent raise. It's like, hey, congratulations, you get a cookie. And a pat on the head. But nonetheless, I mean, to me, it wasn't really necessarily about the money. Necessarily, it wasn't about the amount. It was more about the principle of me actually getting a fucking... And I don't mean principle as in, like, you know, money. I mean principle as in, like, morals, I guess. But yeah, for me, it was more about the principle than the actual money. You know, because again, I've worked there for a lot of years. I'd like to think I do a good job. I try, honestly, to work hard. And again, I like to think I do a pretty decent job. If I hadn't, I'm pretty sure I probably would have been fired by now. Just saying. So, you know, I was like, finally, it's about fucking time. You know, they gave me a raise. I'm like, okay, cool. So then, that was 2019. So then 2020 rolls around, right? And in the state of Illinois where I live, they raised the minimum wage up to $9.25 an hour. And they're going to keep gradually raising it until it reaches $15 an hour, which is an absolutely fucking retarded idea, by the way. Because jobs like mine in a few years will probably be obsolete. So it's like, you know, would you rather have a job where you get paid less, or would you rather not have a job at all? Because that's what raising the minimum wage will do. It will kill so many fucking jobs. It's such a dumbass fucking idea. Then there will be no one to spend money, which in turn will cause the market to not be stimulated, because that's how the market is stimulated. It gets stimulated by people spending money, but people can't spend money if they don't have fucking jobs. Seriously, it's economics 101. Like, I work a minimum wage job, and even I highly disagree with raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. It's a fucking retard-ass idea. I would understand raising the minimum wage to maybe $10 an hour. That I could understand. But $15 an hour is fucking stupid. Sorry, it's just so fucking stupid. Alright, I'm going off on a tangent anyway. But yeah, anyway, so they raised the minimum wage to $9.25. So I was getting paid $9 an hour, because previously I was getting paid $8.25, but then I got a 75-cent raise, so then I was getting paid $9 an hour. So I assumed that when the minimum wage went up to $9.25, then I would be getting paid $10 an hour because it would be $9.25 plus my 75-cent raise. And that didn't happen. What actually happened was I went from getting paid $9 an hour to $9.25 an hour. So I still technically got a 25-cent raise. Which is why I wasn't too horrifyingly pissed about that. But at the same time, again, for me, it's not about the money, it's about the principle. I've been working there for 6 fucking years. You know, I deserve to be making a little bit more, in my opinion, than the kids who have worked there for literally months. But yeah, when they raised the minimum wage, I was getting paid the same amount as some of the other kids who had been working there for literally just a couple months. And I'd been working there for 6 years. So, I was a little irritated. So, before the whole COVID pandemic struck, I had talked to the manager about this, as well as a couple other things. We were just having some issues, you know. Just in general with how things were going at the restaurant. So, I had to sit down with the, general manager, and I'm like, that was one of the things that I talked with her about. I'm like, I've worked here 6 years, and I'm getting paid the same as the other kids who have worked here for, literally a few months. And again, I told her straight up, I'm like, I'm not trying to be elitist, and for me, it's not about the amount of money. It's about the principle of the matter. The fact that I'm making the same as the other kids who have only been here for months. And I've been here 6 goddamn years. That's kind of shitty. And, she agreed with me. I like our general manager. I've always thought that she is a very reasonable person to deal with. Very interesting person as well, and that's probably a nice way of putting it. But no, she is legitimately a good person. At least in my opinion anyway. So, never had any problems with her at all. But yeah, I told her, I'm like, it's kind of shitty. And then she's like, yeah, okay, well, I'll, ask the big boss about it. And so then, time went by, nothing got done about it. And again, it wasn't necessarily something that I was super pissed off about, because I still technically got a 25-cent raise when the minimum wage went up. So, I mean, again, I felt kind of like a little bit of a bitch for, pissing and moaning about that. But at the same time, it just kind of felt shitty to me, too, at the same time. That my raise magically disappeared when the minimum wage went up. I just felt that was kind of shitty. And again, I told the manager straight up, I'm not trying to be elitist or any of that shit, but at the same time, that is kind of shitty. And she agreed with me, so. So then, a little bit of time went by and nothing got done about it. And I wasn't going to press the matter because, to be honest, it wasn't super important to me. I was still making more money than I had been before. So again, I was like, you know what? It's whatever. But then the pandemic hit, right? The whole COVID thing. And to be honest, once the whole pandemic thing hit, getting a raise on my paycheck was the least of my worries. Okay? Because I had a whole bunch of other bullshit that I had to deal with once the whole pandemic hit and all that shit. And I knew that the owner was going to hit some tough times and not be making as much in, profits. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to press the matter any further for right now. Because I'm just lucky that I have a job at all right now. And it's not a matter that I want to depress at the moment, with my whole raise and whatnot. I'm like, it's just for the best if I just don't press this matter for right now. So I let it slide. Didn't really think anything of it at all. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm still getting paid $9.25. That was more than the $9 I was getting paid before. So again, I can't really bitch too much, Didn't press the matter, said nothing about it during this whole COVID thing. And we just recently opened back up for dining. However, I discovered on my paycheck last week, because I decided to look at, how much I actually made, in gross profits before, the state decided to rob me, because of income tax, which is straight up highway robbery, by the way. Income tax is fucking robbery, and it is, in my opinion, unconstitutional. But I looked at my paycheck and saw that for one of the weeks, I was getting paid $10 an hour. And I did a double take. I'm like, wait, what? So I think they actually decided to give me my raise back. I mean, granted, several months late, you know, it's already fucking July, and that should have happened, you know, right away in fucking January. But, yeah, I think I got my raise back finally. So now I believe I have to wait until I get my next paycheck to 100% confirm this, but I think I'm getting paid $10 an hour now, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that's some actual good news for a change. That's about the only fucking good news I've gotten, you know, recently. So, unless my car passes emissions somehow. But that's a whole different story that I'm actually going to be talking about next time. But yeah, I was really happy to see that on my paycheck. Hopefully that continues into this next paycheck, because that'll 100% confirm that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they gave me my raise back, which is, you know, it's like finally, you know, about fucking time. But hey, you know what they say, right? Better late than never. Ah, man. All right. Well, anyway, guys, that will do it for that one. So stay tuned. And until next time, peace out.